Welcome back to Mzansiverse TV, the only channel brave enough to rank men who could snap you in half and still remember to say well played afterwards. Today, we're counting down the top 10 greatest Springbok players of all time. Grab your boerewors roll, crack open something cold, and let's dive into rugby royalty, South African style. Number 10, Tendai the Beast Mtawarira. They called him the Beast, and honestly, that's less of a nickname and more of a legal disclaimer. For over a decade, Beast anchored the Springbok scrum like a man personally offended by the concept of losing ground. Opposing props would step onto the field, make eye contact with him, and immediately start thinking about their pension plans. He wasn't just a prop, he was a geological event. Number 9, Naas Botha. Naas Botha kicked a rugby ball with the accuracy of a man who had personally negotiated a peace treaty with gravity. In an era before video analysts and sports science, Naas just stood there, calm as a Sunday afternoon, and put the ball wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted. Some players read the game. Naas read the game, then rewrote the ending. Number 8, Fourie du Preez. If you ask any South African over the age of 70 about Fourie du Preez,
prepare to lose the next 20 minutes of your life to a story that starts with, "Now this was back when men were men," and ends with something involving a tree being uprooted with his bare hands. Probably an exaggeration. Probably. Number 7, Percy Montgomery. Percy Montgomery played fullback like a man who had won a bet that he could look effortlessly stylish while also being tackled by angry Australians. Smooth running, ice-cold kicking, and he that somehow never moved no matter how hard he got hit. Scientists still can't explain it. Number 6, Fourie du Preez. Fourie du Preez was the scrum half equivalent of a chess grandmaster who also happened to be terrifyingly fast. He didn't just pass the ball, he delivered it like a very polite but extremely fast postal worker who absolutely will not be late. His box kicks had their own postcode. Number 5, Schalk Burger. Schalk Burger tackled people the way toddlers knock over building blocks with total enthusiasm and zero remorse. He looked less like a rugby player and more like something that had wandered off a Viking longship and decided on a whim to learn the offside rule. Absolute chaos, and we loved every second of it. Number 4, Victor Matfield. Victor Matfield at the line-out was less rugby player and more like man who has personally hacked the laws of physics. He could read an opposition throw before the ball even left their hands, like he had quietly installed spyware in their coach's clipboards. A genuine line-out wizard, minus the pointy hat. Number 3, Bryan Habana. Bryan Habana was so fast that in 2007, he was literally challenged to a race against a cheetah. Let that sink in. A man looked at Bryan Habana and thought, you know what this guy needs? A direct comparison to an apex predator. He scored tries by simply being somewhere the defense hadn't considered yet, which was, apparently, everywhere. Number 2, Joost van der Westhuizen. Joost van der Westhuizen played scrum half like the game owed him money personally. Ferocious, relentless, and built like he moonlighted as furniture removal on weekends. He would put in a tackle so bone-rattling that the opposing player's grandchildren would feel it decades later. A legend on and off the field, whose courage in his final years inspired the entire rugby world. And before we get to number 1, quick reminder to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Unless you're scared of what happens if you don't. We won't tell you what happens. We just won't be responsible. Number 1, Siya Kolisi. Of course it's Siya. The man who lifted the Webb Ellis Cup not once but twice, becoming the first black captain in Springbok history, and in doing so turned a rugby trophy into a symbol of an entire nation finding something to agree on for 5 minutes. Siya plays like he's got something to prove and something to give back, all in the same breath, all in the same tackle. Leadership, heart, and an engine that simply does not quit. If Springbok rugby had a face carved onto a mountain somewhere, it's probably going to end up being his, right next to a giant thumbs up. And that wraps up our countdown. Did we get it wrong? Did we forget your favorite bok? Let us know in the comments. preferably without starting a civil war. This has been Mzansiverse TV, reminding you that in South Africa, rugby isn't just a sport, it's a personality trait. See you next time.